Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This is going to be LA Night with a Piper plate. So the CC account that I have has the moment unlocked, so it's also with the moment. I think that's probably fine because with a Piper plate, you're going to need the moment anyway, I think, if you want to play him. I'm going to show you guys two different ways to run him. The second way I don't think is one people really talk about. Um, he does have his gear, but I'm going to play around his gear at the start, and then I'll show you something interesting you can do with the gear. So, and that, I don't think most people probably play it that way that have his gear. Moment adds 50% yellow gem damage, but also 50% blue, and 200% more pyro gem damage, which is, as you know, affects the gems underneath. So it's also getting buffed with like the Piper and stuff. It's pretty cool. It works pretty well, but there's some funky stuff you can do. Anyway, the strap is 100%. You would also want 100% Piper plate, of course. Whenever you make 4 more pyro gems, 100% all gem, 500% yellow, so 600% on your yellows, 100% on your blues. And then basic plate, Kids Lightning, whenever you break 3 or more yellow, make 7 purple into blue. That's just to hopefully catch a few more pyros if we don't get them all, because their random placement is the worst part about this. If he made like, I don't know, 10 more pyro gems, that would be epic. Battering ram, 6 MP, 193k damage, make 20 random into pyro. Leaping elbow drop, 6 MP, 183k, plus 86k bonus damage for every pyro gem. And the BFT finisher, 821k, and choose 9 gems to make into blue gems. So we have 9 to play with. Ignoring his gear, I can choose 9 blue gems. Entourage for this one is 4 MP out of Brawn Breaker, 4 MP out of Kofi, 1 MP out of Santa, and Pyro Gems do 100% more damage. So we're going to take a advantage of the Leaping Elbow drop along with the moment, adding 200% to that. So we're actually getting 300% to the Pyro move, and it doesn't do a ton of damage. That's not going to scale up at gold either. That's one of the reasons, like, if he was just a silver guy, that would be fantastic. But even with all that stuff, you're going to see, I think this does, like, well, let's show you. 344k per. It's only 7 million, which at silver is a lot. At gold, it's not so much. And you can see, here's the issue with random. Not a one of my gems went on the bottom row. You'd think when you're chucking 20 gems, which is, what? I don't know, percentage. 2/5 of the board, a couple would end up on the bottom, but you know. So we have 9 blue gems to play with. I'm gonna take a row break here, because that gets all of that. And then we basically are going to miss this one and this row, right? So that's 4 gems. Let's go 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's within my limit of 9. I did that wrong, and I missed that side one. So whatever. But you can see it was only a 16 mil pin. We did drain him, so the gem damage would have only been like 32 million at gold. And then we did another 7 million with the pyro move. So that's only like 43 million. But at silver, you can see we took out 27 million, I think is what he starts with health, which is a good chunk. 26 million, because most silvers don't have that much health. I'll run it again. That was a bad board. I didn't do the best with my clicking. Here, much better. We have 4 on the bottom, but then we get a really bad spread on the ones we're missing. And this is why, in general, this is rough to run. It needs about 10 more gems, or any more gems would help. But I get this kind of stuff with me a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Row break, and then we want this one. That's 7 gems. I have 2 left, and I guess there's really no reason. Whatever. I apparently didn't do the row break either. So, I'm blind. I suck at these. Anyway, that's the first build. I don't actually like that build. I like this build. And I really like this build if you have the gear. And I really, 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 really like this build if you have the moment. And this gear, this this build with the moment and with the gear and with an LA Knight plate is really good. But this video isn't about the LA Knight plate, so let me just show you a few different ways. Big boot, 6 MP, 198k damage. Increase your blue gem damage by 256% for 1 turn. So now all those blues we're choosing are worth a ton. Also keep in mind, pyro gems are worth 200%. So really this is one way of doing it, and there's multiple ways you can do it even with a Piper plate. Let me show you some of them. The gem damage is much bigger. Using Tama, I didn't change my coaches. Great. I knew I forgot something. Using Tama helps negate some of that, whatever you want to call it, randomness. You can see 736k for every blue pyro after that. So obviously, when you think about how many gems you choose with the gear, like 24, it's a lot of choosing, but you can see where the damage would be, right? It would be good. We're just going to do, that's 6 gems, 7, 8. And then we'll just go with that. We'll just do that. And this is much simpler, it feels like. That was a really bad hit, but I also didn't have Tama on. It makes it, trust me, it makes a difference. You might not think so. Let me set it up right. Really, I'm doing a horrible job showing this. I probably should start over, but I'm not. I don't like doing that. I might just play a few more matches. Let's get this right. All right. This will help. Just 3 extra gems filling in, you wouldn't think would be a big deal, but usually it works out a lot better. Even when it's not good, they just seem to fill in better. You know? That's 6. That's 9. That was 23 million. Be 46 million at gold. Not a particularly great hit. But we're not done, right? Let's run it again. This one is fantastic. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 28 million. 56 million at gold. That's much better. Obviously, with the gear, you can see where this is going to go, I'm sure, because you're getting the Piper turning things yellow, and you're getting the blue with the buff. I'm sure you can see where this is going to go when we can pick 24, right? And there's a lot of experimenting you can do with that. I'll show the gear here in a second. Also, with the gear, I would drop Tama and put Devon if you have him. But I actually really like the buff with this moveset. This is not a good board at all. So how do I want to do this? 2, 3, 4. I think that'll work. 5, 6, 7. And then we got to do this. We got to go with 2 row breaks on this one. That actually... Oh, nice. The plate came in clutch. There you go. That was 30 million. So the swipe plate really helps out with some of the variances too, and so does Tama. So that would be that one would have been nearly 60 million, and that was a junky board. So there is some randomness to it, but if you're a big LA Knight fan, I think you can absolutely make this work. Now, let's assume we have the gear, and because we're not as worried about the placement with the gear, because we have so many blue gems, we might as well buff that blue gem farther and choose more blue gems. Although, you can literally fill the whole board with the blue gems, or you can just kind of fill like half of the board. I mean, there's many ways you can run this, right? Depending on what you get. I'll just play it. It's a lot of clicking, but again, if you're an LA Knight fan, so this is not for me because it's a lot of clicking. I am an LA Knight fan though, but it is kind of cool, right? I'll show you what I mean. So like in this case, generally what I would do is just fill the bottom 3 for speed wise, and it's not super fast, and just say, you know what, that's good enough. And then just let the pyros do their thing. After that, you get what you get. It doesn't involve a ton of thinking. Excuse me. And you can see that was 31 million. It would have been 62 million. So that's generally how I would play this one. And in fact, you could take Devon off if you're going to do it that way. And go back to Tama, which let me go ahead and do that, and I'll show you, because we're getting... And then you're just kind of getting more on the bottom 3 rows. Rows, yeah, rows. Those are rows. And that I think would be... This I think would be the most efficient way, because then you're still letting the... You're getting a ton of blues, and but you're also still letting the pyro gems work for you with the Piper plate, if that makes sense. So I haven't played it a ton, so that's like, I'm not 100% sure, but I think in general, if you just want to not have to super think about it, I think just making the bottom 3 rows and then letting the Piper plate do its thing on the top is probably going to be the best. You can see the explosion on the Piper is really nice. Any extra blue gem matches are nice. That was a big... That's 70 million. I really do think the bottom 3 rows is how you play this setup, if you can run it, right? It's a lot. I know it's a lot, but LA Knight... And then, so, also, if you figure with the LA Knight plate, then I think you just choose everything across the bottom 4. I think at that point he's got enough to choose. It's a lot of clicking, but all those blue gems get buffed even more. This isn't an LA Knight plate video though. This is a Piper video. So this is really good. It's just a lot. It's kind of like Tech Razor, actually. Very similar to Tech Razor if you're just doing the bottom 3 rows, to be honest, which is worth it if you didn't have somebody that was like cascade proof or really high damage. I think it's absolutely worth it. So depending on your showboats, you know. This one was less good, but I think we're still going to hit hard. Yeah, 33 million for 66. So he's completely playable in the current meta with the Piper plate and everything else, right? And I do think this is probably would be what I would consider his best moveset, either with the Piper or with the LA. Certainly with the gem chucking plate. And it's kind of cool. I like the fact that this was never intended to work this way. You know, Braun Breaker, I don't believe, was out when he came out, and 10 MP. I feel like it was never intended to work this way, and it's just really fun to play. So the dual MP trainers allow for a lot of really fun combos at times that I don't think were necessarily intended, and I think this is one of them. The gear is obviously in the buff is intended to work with the trap gems. Oh, I missed that bottom one because I'm blind and I suck, but, you know, the game's going to bail me out. Still 62 million. Anyway, what do you guys think about it? I know it's super rare and a lot of people can't run it, But I do think it's fun, and it is Piper Plate month, so, and tons of people are LA Knight fans, so you probably want to play them if you got them. So anyway, let me know what you think. Remember to like, subscribe, and share, because that really helps me out. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Good luck out there. Yeah! Nah. Anyway.